Absolutely reprehensible.
Though we are going to be bringing back the top 10. So let's say we have 8 clear today in this first round, plus one-time vaulter and the fastest 4 vaulter rounding out the top 10. They would all come back for today's winning round. And then scores are wiped clean in the jump-off. You go clean, you go fast, you win. In the jump-off phase in today's winning round.
Well, hello and welcome here to Las Vegas. We are getting ready for another competition here. This time it is the Jacks or Better winning round. So 1.45 m in height, winning round format. We'll tell you more about how that works in a few minutes' time, but we can see on screen the runners and riders that are going to be featuring here in this winning round competition. And some good names in there. I'm Adam Cromarty, Oliver Kennedy sitting alongside me. Oliver, just on that first page alone, you know, people like Connor Swale, Cassio Rivetti, it's going to be a good mixed field today.
Well, and then you saw Skylar Wehrman, who was also on there. She's just early on, but she is already second in a big class this week. Luis Sabino Gonçalves from Portugal. He has been in multiple world championships, multiple Nations Cup. Natalie Dean, a hot rider. Niall Nassar in Jiminy Cricket, always quick around the course. Always one to watch. He comes off of a win in Toronto last week. Connor Swale, I mean, what do you guys say? The guy's number 5 in the world. Any horse he sits on any time he's in the ring, he's deadly. Caitlin Campbell, one to watch, has 2 in the class. Natalie Dean, again. Daniel Coyle comes off of the World Cup win last week. Already has a class win earlier this week with this horse, Jeffrey Jardin. And it's a great group, and this should be a fun class because all they got to do is make it into that top 25% to go on to the winning round. And in this format, the way they've chosen to do the winning round, they all come back on 0.
Yeah.
So, not carrying any faults forward, and it's a whole new game.
Not like Grand Prix rules. Winning round, they all come back on that 0 score. Top 10 or all clears will go forward. And the starting order for the winning round is decided on their result from the first round. So it will be the fastest clear from the first round that goes last in pole position. If we do take forward anyone on faults, they will lose those faults, but they will come back starting early in that winning round.
Well, and that's one of the things a little different about the way they may approach their round here. Tonight when they're doing the World Cup, they know they have the time allowed. They just got to be within, but they want to get a good spot in that starting order coming back. So they're going to have their promptness right at more like a table A speed would be, and just put a prompt and efficient first round in to get a better spot in that jump off order.
That's assuming the riders have read the schedule, of course.
True.
I'm sure they have.
As they say, true dat.
Well, final preparations underway. Anderson Lima is our course designer, one of the riders' favourites. Of course, we look forward to seeing what he has in store for the Longines FEI Jumping World Cup Las Vegas. You can enjoy that on Clip My Horse tonight on FEI TV as well. Won't be on YouTube or Facebook though, so you haven't yet organised a way to watch. Make sure you do that because it's going to be a cracker. It brings us to about the halfway stage here on the North American League as we get ready for World Cup finals in Omaha, Nebraska towards the first third of next year. But the athletes backstage making those final preparations. We'll see that first one coming forward in a second. And I think we'll probably be getting ready to hear the national anthem here. A bit of a tradition to start things off in Las Vegas. But yeah, going to be an exciting one today. So if you've already joined us on YouTube, Facebook not quite live as yet, but I know you YouTubers are with us. So if you are watching on there, don't forget, let us know where you're watching from. Any questions, any comments, pop it in the box below. Roberta's already on there in Italy. Gwendolyn's watching in Michigan. Joyce in Italy as well. Joyce says she's excited. Garfield's watching in Turkey. Your Horse Fam is in Bulgaria. PHS Flash Mob is in Illinois. Rennie in North Carolina. Victoria's watching in Spain. So great to have everyone with us. If you are watching, don't forget, let us know where you're watching from. Any comments, any questions, pop it in that box below. And our friends on Facebook will be joining us as well at 12 o'clock. But great to have you all with us. And we'll see that first partnership through the gate here in just a moment or two. As Oliver mentioned already, they're going to be looking to set a good time. If they go clear, they're guaranteed to come through the way this winning round has worked today. There's a few different ways to run them. But today, if they go clear, they're guaranteed to come back. And if we don't get 10, then it will be at least 25%, but a minimum of 10. So we know it's going to be 10. 10 is the magic number. And if there's any more than 10 clears, which I don't think we'll see, then we would take all the clears through to that winning round to come back in reverse order of merit. Looks like we're not doing the national anthem today, actually, so we're going to see that first combination come forward to get us underway here. Sophia Siegel is going to be our pathfinder here in this winning round. There's Sophia with Barracuda. Barracuda's a 12-year-old Zangerside stallion by Chaco Blue. Sophia trains with Harley Brown. A lot of success with her other horse as well, A-Girl, including a second place finish in the World Cup in Sacramento.
20-year-old rider, been showing internationally since she went out for the North American Youth Championships in 2017. They were second in a 140 class in Ocala at WEC earlier this year in international competition.
Let's take a look at this course. So we start over this vertical, playing cards at fence 1, left-handed on the bending line down to that 145 oxer at fence number 2. Then they come round past the in-gate. You want to be quite tidy through that turn. Jump the upright. Then you find 7 quite easy strides down towards this white and red oxer, fence 4. We're down to the long side here. Now it's an oxer. A little bit of a short 5 strides through here. And then we come towards this double. It's upright in, 1 non-jumping stride, out over the oxer at 6B. And round the top corner. Again, just thinking about that time. It does decide your starting order in the winning round, assuming you're clear or you're part of that top 10. So that's the vertical at 7. 6 strides, bending line brings them down to the oxer at 8. Round this bottom corner, then we're back across the diagonal. Gymnastic test here. Oxer, 2 strides, vertical, 1 stride, and vertical out through 9A, B, and C. Nice and simple to finish. It's down to the long side, oxer, vertical, and then your final fence comes off the corner here. The slot machines to finish. And that was a good start.
70.33 the time on a clear, and she's booked her ticket into the jump off.
Yeah, great start there for Sophia. Barracuda gives us that clear. Good to have Sheila watching on Facebook Live now. Marjetta's watching in Finland. Mina in Sweden. If you've joined us on Facebook Live, good to have you with us. Remember, you can let us know where you're watching. Use the comments box below. Any questions, any comments. And we'll get NAL Nassar underway next with Dorada de Riverland, 9-year-old gelding by Untouchable M out of a Argentinius mare. This was previously ridden and developed by Rovan Lesquien. And quite a new ride for NAL. He just took over this in the summertime. But he's a real tidy rider, this one.
Well, Nayar, he's always been competitive. A past winner of this class, I think, in 2019, maybe. 31-year-old rider, rode for Egypt in Tokyo and at the World Equestrian Games this year in Erning. Had a Grand Prix win with this horse at Villamora this year. Placings in Belgium, Dinard, and La Balle.
This is a nice horse. It's got all the ingredients.
He's carrying a good pace here. I think he really would like to have it using that strategy of trying to go prompt but clear. Also, you know, if you're a four-faulter, you want to be in that top 10.
Yep.
If we don't have that many clear, so it goes by being the fastest four is the next one that gets in.
Yeah, I think you have to ride this as a sort of one round against the clock type first round.
Niall always, even when he's going quick, it's always smooth.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this horse has got plenty of scope.
Goes inside, coming back down to the final line. Ooh, of course, shifted to the right. Caught that back rail.
And now the time becomes important.
Well, Niall finishing on 4:68.98, and the ground jury just prior to his round adjusted the time allowed from 78 down to 73. Just shifted to the right, kind of reached down over that oxer and wasn't able to clear it. But I mean, that kind of left a little bit long and shifting to the right, made that ride a little bit wider.
So new time allowed is 73 seconds. And this is James Arkins, who's going to be coming next. Just an 8-year-old this one, so one of the younger horses we'll see in the competition. This is Jovaro N. Had some quite consistent top placings in the 2-star and 3-star events. I know we've seen him at Spruce Meadows and Thunderbird. He was second on Wednesday in the $10,000 4-star Speed Classic. Third yesterday in the Royal Flush Classic. He's an Australian rider who's been competing here on the West Coast with Matt Williams. Here's another one that was at the World Championships this August as well. These horses have been jumping nicely in this arena over the last couple of days. Any that were a little bit kind of spooky or looky when they came in have lost that now. All kind of settled down.
Wow. Just going to push through that front rail. They take that inside turn back as well, coming up the final line. I think you guys see most of them do that just to, you know, shave a couple of strides off.
Well, just that one down. Finishes on the 4, 16.984. If you have just joined us, this is a winning round format, so top 10 or all clears will head through to the winning round, coming back on a 0 score, even if they qualify for the winning round on faults. So faults and time are important in this, and once we've seen 10 go through, we'll have that cut-off and we'll keep you updated. Val's just joined us on Facebook Live, says happy holidays. A little bit early, Val, but we'll let you away with it. Janice is watching in North Carolina. Mina says good luck to everybody. If you do have any messages, any comments, if you want to let us know where you're watching from, use that comments box below and we'll get our next one underway here. This is Connor Swale and Theo. Connor, real competitive horse. Rider even, and he's got a great string at the moment.
Made it up into the after last season, which was probably the best season he had on record up until this season. He's been climbing up the world rankings, been inside the top 10 all year. Currently number 5 in the world rankings. Probably has the best string of horses he's ever had.
Yeah, I would say so.
7 wins on this horse.
Yeah, this horse had a little bit of a break earlier in the year, then came back out at Tryon, and it was on flying form and has continued that form through.
Connor probably has the best balance on a as a rider, one of the best in the world. No matter what happens, he stays out of the horse's way. His body control is unbelievable.
Just move up there to get a nice stride into the oxer. Nicely done.
Well, there we have 2 guaranteed in as Sophia Siegel and now Connor Swale. Both have put in clear rounds.
And that one's quick as well across the ground, so you know it will be one to watch when they do return. And that time that he's achieved with his clear is important as well, because it will decide the starting order. So 2 clears. Sophia Siegel is on 70.33 in clear, and then Connor Swale 65.90. So he'll get a much better starting position than Sophia, and we'll find out what that's going to be as things continue here. Kelly Edwards joined us watching on Facebook Live in California. Sheila's in West Virginia. Judy in Florida. Laura says, yay, Theo. Kelly watching McLean Ward and Double H Azure in Prague, who had 1 time fault in the first round. There's plenty of competition going on this weekend. Wilma's watching in New Zealand, says, feels good to be able to watch on Facebook. Casting onto big screen. Well, I'm glad. I hope we're sounding good on the big screen, Wilma. Cassio Rivetti. Next to go. He's another top-class athlete. You know, he's been around, he's done it all, and he's been building a bit of a string recently.
Then did 2 Olympics in Rio and London, 3 World Games. Riding again for Brazil.
This horse, Chattanooga, is a 12-year-old Oldenburg gelding by Cornet's Prince. It was previously competed by Cassio's client, Laura Height, and Cassio started showing him earlier in the season. He was second in a 15,150 challenge at the Nilfarushan Equisport events back in October. Clear in the 135 earlier in the week. Gave him a nice setup for today. Had some good results at Tryon with this one over the summer as well. Okay, just keeping that nice active rhythm all the way round. Comes down towards the last. Little tap there, but gets away with it. 68.75 in the middle of the pack with the 3 clears. Cassio Rivetti there. Connor Swale the fastest clear, Cassio Rivetti second fastest, and Sophia Siegel in at 3rd of the fastest clear spots. But remember, those times only mean they get a good starting order in the winning round. This is Skylar Wireman next. And she's, just on such good form. This is Sitoki. But Skylar has been in, I think, every division here. Almost every class here, I think.
She's an 18-year-old rider. Second in the USCF medal finals. Second in the Washington finals. Second at the North American Equitation at Capital Challenge. And she has not a lot of FEI experience. She's done the Young Riders, North American Young Rider Championships twice, but really this is kind of her first full show as in FEI, and she was second earlier on meter 45 class on the second day of the FEI competition here. In the national classes, she won the meter 20, the meter 30 Grand Prix. She's a rider who can ride the hunters, the equitation, the jumpers, and all at the top level.
And it all feeds in, doesn't it? You know, that experience of riding just so many different types. And I would say she's also learning to be a horsewoman as well as a rider. You know, she does a lot of the work herself.
Well, the USHJA, or United States Hunter and Jumper Association, has a program called the Emerging Athletes Program, and she was second in that. It's a competition trying to find young talent, but along with that, they do a program where they learn barn management. They learn to take care of the horses, not just the riding portion. And and it's so important if you want to be a complete horse person.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, super job.
Well, on time penalties though.
And that's interesting because, you know, with the old rules on time faults, she would have ended up with a couple and been ahead of those on a rail. Today she jumped round, wasn't a bad one, 77.51, but it's cost her 5 time faults, and that might just keep her out of that winning round. Pam Conboy's watching on Facebook Live in Las Vegas, Nevada. You should really be here, Pam. Why aren't you here with us? Elizabeth's watching in Sweden and says we just got 40 centimetres of snow. Wanda is watching from her sailboat. She's anchored in the Caribbean. Can we come and join you, Wanda? That is the big question of the day. Kieran's watching in Ireland, and we're going to get Luis Sabino Gonçalves underway. Next to go with Sigma. 8-year-old stallion.
Portuguese rider has numerous Nations Cups for his home country. Was representative at the World Games in Tryon and 6 European Championships.
He moved to the US in 2021, based in California now. Says it really feels like home. And he's had a lot of success since he moved here. He was 4th in the 135 two-phase earlier in the week. Just missed out 2nd in the 135 at the National Sunshine Series earlier in the month.
And he develops lots of young horses and brings them over and sells them. And his top horse last year was, or at the beginning of this year, was sold to Lily Keenan, and went on, represented the U.S. in Nations Cups.
He's had a rail, but at the moment, you know, that could definitely get through. He's got to keep thinking forward. He's got to go for that faster time now. I think we've seen that. He has just increased the pace a little bit.
Shave the turn back coming to the triple.
Brings a little bit more risk though.
Yeah.
Tidy through here. So finishes on the 4:68.54. So fastest of the 4 fault rounds. So after having the rail and speeding up, I suppose that is kind of job done. You know, he's still definitely in with a chance of coming back and joining us. Dewey Sudgeon says, love this, and hello from Richmond, Virginia. Good to see you, Darius. And Heather Piat Fisher says, hey Adam, hey Heather. Yeah, good to have you watching. If you are watching on Facebook Live, don't forget, hit that share button, let everyone else know they can join in as well. And if you're watching on YouTube, we are watching your comments as well. We'll get to you in just a sec. First though, we're going to get to the 23-year-old Natalie Dean and Maestro.
Win earlier this year in Sacramento. good placings in Ottawa on the Major League Show Jumping Tour. She really has developed a nice string of horses right now.
Yeah, she's had this one about 3.5 years. It was Marla Mondello Zanatelli that started the horse's international education. She has won a 145 at Sacramento with this one quite recently.
Well, on 8 now, she had 3 and 5 come down, I think.
At the moment, of course, 8 faults would get you in the top 10, but realistically speaking, I don't think we're going to take an 8 faulter through, and it looks like he's just struggling a little bit with communication today.
Well, now she really has to be a quick round, and she's kind of turning on the afterburners.
Well, 2 down, finishes on the 8. Natalie Dean there for the USA with Maestro, 67.22. So yeah, the time not bad. One of the fastest times we've seen. However, 2 rails, I don't think that's going to be good enough to make it through. We'll wait and see. So Natalie's, as Oliver mentioned, got a nice string, and I'm sure we'll see her in the World Cup tonight as well, probably with Chance Stay Hermel. So keep an eye out for her.
She does have one more coming up a little later on in the order.
Berkey Turkey says, is Daniel Deuser and Colour Queen there? They are not. I think they're probably in Prague as well. Angel Share said that they saw that last combination in Sacramento. Yeah, they had a good win there actually. And SG Dragon says, do these large shows play in Canada like the West Parts? Love to see them. They don't have money to travel. Yeah, there's lots of shows in Canada, and a few of them end up on here. In fact, last week we were both in Toronto for the Royal Winter Fair. There was a couple of shows on YouTube over there. But yeah, keep an eye on the FEI YouTube channel. Always plenty of action to enjoy. Let's get Zoom Gallagher underway for now, though, as she joins us with Indigo van de Muggenhoek.
Placed at Thunderbird this year, 26-year-old Iron, new horse for her.
She's a regular face on the West Coast. It's a horse she added to her string earlier in the year. It's one that Juan Manuel Lozardo has ridden in the past. He won some good young horse classes with the horse. She jumped to the National 130s last year, now moving up to the international divisions, and had some top 10 finishes at 3-star level at Thunderbird earlier in the year. She's given it a great ride today. This could be our next one. Yeah, good job.
Now Zoom guaranteed to come back. 4 are clear.
And she's 69.98. Remember, those times are important because it determines the starting order for the winning round. We've got 9 scores, so once we get one more, we'll start to have that cut off. We've got about 20 left to come. So I think, we may just scrape 1 4-faulter in. But I think we're probably going to get somewhere between 8 and 10 clears, I would think. We'll wait and see how things progress, though. Emma Canmore says, a stable at Connor Swales Home Yard in County Down, Northern Ireland. Lawrence's dad will be chatting about this tomorrow. Come on, Connor. Well, I think he'll be chatting about this class, but also about the World Cup as well. He's definitely a contender, now sitting second in the North American League standings. Patty says, are Margie Engel or McLean Ward riding here? No, McLean's definitely over in Prague, and Margie's not here.
Margie's probably showing in Wellington this weekend.
Bridget's watching an Albion College's jumper show in Michigan. Says good luck to all the riders. Kelly Edwards says, where are we going next? I'm going to Texas next. Home for a few weeks to the UK, then off to Texas. Where are you off to next, Oliver? Down to
I have. This is my last one for the year. I'll start right back up over New Year's in Wellington for the winter.
Susan Cannon's on there watching in North Carolina. But yeah, good to have you all on board watching. Again, don't forget to hit that share button if you are watching on Facebook Live. Let us know where you're watching from. Any questions, any comments, get involved with the conversation. And it looks like Caitlin Campbell is going to be joining us next to go. Another one who's, been building up that string. And we saw this jump the other night, Oliver. This is Polina Diascal.
31-year-old rider, 5 wins, 10 podiums on this with this horse. Caitlin got the horse from Shane Sweetnam, and they clicked, really hit it off, and they have been showing a lot on the Major League Show Jumping Tour. Just came back from 2 events down in Mexico.
She was 12th in the World Cup in Sacramento with this horse. 5th in the welcome class at that same show. Oh, it's a little bit deep into that one.
Oh.
Looks like she just flattened out into the vertical, but then did a great job when she landed of just, setting up, getting that canter back, getting the power back in the hindquarters as she landed.
Really picking up the speed at the end of the track.
Well, hopes to be one of the fastest 4s, 67.08. So she is the fastest 4 fault round we've seen. Caitlin Campbell there for the United States of America.
We'll see her back with a second horse a little later on. Just kind of left a little bit long, caught it behind.
Here's another American with 2 horses. It's Laura Height takes the field next.
Retha's just joined us watching in South Africa on Facebook Live, and Trina as well is in Montego Bay, Jamaica. All sounds very tropical. Laura Height standing by, about to be underway here. She brings Calypso van de Zuthova, another West Coast name. Used to train with Joey Gatlin for quite a few years, who actually found this horse in Belgium with help from Stal Hendricks and Karel Cox, but now trains with Cassio Rivetti and just has that early rail. So if she wants to be competitive today, time to get the foot down, think about being the fastest 4 fault round. But after Caitlin Campbell's been in, that's going to take some doing now. Again, with 8 faults, I think you may as well, either use this as an education, as experience to give the horse a nice ride round, or stick your hand up and retire, because you're not going through. Unless, of course, you're thinking about the prize money, because there'll still be a lower taken 10 through, still be 12 cash awards. We've got 10 scores on the board now, and Natalie Dean sits in that 10th place position on 8 faults. Her time's 67.22, so we know Laura's definitely not coming back.
Well, finishes on 74.67, picks up 2 time faults also, so she's on a total of 10.
Yeah, so she sadly won't return. Natalie Dean stays as the cut-off. If you've just joined us, winning round formats, all athletes start in the first round. Top 10 are all clear, progress. If anyone goes forward, on faults. Those faults are taken away. Completely clean scorecard, and the order of starting is decided by the results in this first round. Haley's watching in Kenosha. Hope I pronounced that properly. She's getting a tattoo at the moment.
Oh, nice.
What is it, Haley? Feel free to add in a picture. I think you can do that on Facebook Live. Hunter Holloway.
No.
She's had a great show.
24-year-old rider. Won the World Cup here last year.
This is Eastern Jam, 13-year-old by Lexicon. She was third in the 3-star welcome in Traverse City earlier in the season. No, Hunter says this horse is a complete gentleman. He always stays calm, cool, collected, and just gets the job done. And she's got great history here. She won the World Cup last year, not with this one. But I know she likes this ring. She loves coming here. It's a fun show to be at. Hunter went out and saw one of our favourite shows earlier in the week. She went to Absinthe. I think it was back on whatever the opening day was. This is quick.
So far, she's just spot on.
And it's just very fluid. There's no kind of pushing and pulling, and she just keeps that nice activity all the way around. Good job. So 69.77 is the time there. Third of the fastest clears. That means Natalie Dean is out, won't return. Heads down to 11th place. And that means Skylar Wireman is now in that 10th place position. She just finished on the 5 time faults, but those have been very costly to her, and she now sits in a precarious 10th place position. Celia, though, saying what a beautiful round. She's watching on YouTube Live. Delphinium771 says very nice. Oh, and Haley's updated her. She's getting a Chicago Cubs tattoo. So there we go, if anyone was wondering. Hope they're making a good job, Haley. Kelly says happy holidays. Happy holidays back at you. It still feels early. I don't think Christmas starts till we get home after this show.
We're talking Thanksgiving now in the U.S. It's
oh,
next
maybe
week.
That's it. Okay, maybe that's it. Sorry, Kelly, that was lost on me as an ignorant Brit.
Turkey Day comes up next week.
Well, I might celebrate it from back home in the UK. Any excuse to have a good meal.
You can see right through the gate back to that warm-up area.
It's quite a nice big open warm-up arena here for an indoors. Holton Conrad's just joined us from Holland. Good to have you with us, Conrad. Don't forget, if you want to get involved with the conversation, either on YouTube Live or Facebook, you can do that. Use the comments box below. Let us know where you're watching. Any questions or comments, do that as well. And remember, hit the share button. Share it to any groups that you're a member of, any equestrian groups. Nicole Honert next in with Calgary, 14-year-old Holsteiner mare. Calgary's been Nicole's long-time partner now for about 4 years and has had a real good run of success in the Grand Prix classes at Blenheim Equisports, including a win in the 140 Grand Prix here last year. This one can be a little bit spooky indoors, but Nicole tends to use that to her advantage. Makes the mare a bit more careful as well. But this horse has got a lot of blood. It can be a little bit strong, but she's a real winner. Oh.
So it kind of flipped its head up. She went to pull, flipped its head up a little bit. Pushing down to the last.
So 4 faults is going to be 70.49. She becomes the cutoff, actually. So Skylar Wireman now out. Nicole Honertson in 10th place. Slowest of the 4 fault rounds. Let's come back for that winning round. Hi to Pramajit Singh, who's watching now in Moldova. Kathy in Pennsylvania has joined. Theor says hello, greetings from Poland. Sandra Thompson in South Carolina also joining. She's on YouTube Live as well. Good to have you with us, keeping us company as Niall Nassar returns. Second ride for him in this one. He brings Jiminy Cricket, the 11-year-old. Kerry Potter produced this horse, developed him for about 6 years since he was a 3-year-old. Niall took over the ride back in 2020. Horse went to the team at Evergate Stables, and they were 4th here this week in the 145 two-face, 3rd in the 150. It's on good form, this horse. It's quite short in the neck, quite compact. It's got a bit of blood, and it's kind of Niall's type, this horse.
With this horse, he kind of really has to control his upper body, and he does such a good job of staying out of this horse's way, guiding him around. Niall has such a good, a soft hand. You know, he doesn't, whatever adjustments he needs to make, you barely see it happening. Oh, come on, come on.
Yeah, good job. 68.32 clear. Second fastest of the clears as well, so will have a good starting position when he returns. At the moment we've got 6 clears. We're about the halfway stage, 15 left to come. So I think you really have to be clear. Maybe Caitlin Campbell will squeeze through fastest of the 4 faulters. And if she does, don't forget, she'll lose the fault. She will come back on that 0 score. We're going to see one more, and then I think they're going to do a little bit of arena maintenance. For now, though, Skylar Wireman returns with Coolio this time. 15-year-old horse in Oldenburg, this one.
Second in the 145 earlier this week in the FEI.
I don't know how excited she was, because she was surrounded by top talent. You know, Daniel Coyle and Connor Swale in the 1st and 3rd positions, and she was in the middle of the 2. And that's a testament to her, not just as a rider, but also, you know, to manage that pressure that competing against these top athletes brings.
Yeah, she is really cool in terms of, doesn't let things phase her.
She's been showing this horse indoors for a little while now. She finished 2nd in the 140 juniors at Washington, 3rd at the National Horse Show in Kentucky. And this is one she started to show in March of this year.
Ooh.
Guido Clatti Jr., a German rider, won the European Youth Championships with this horse. So it's certainly got plenty of talent. Oh. I thought she was going to get away with that.
Really picking it up, coming home quickly. 67.54.
So that's the 2nd fastest of the 4 fault rounds. So again, might be in with a chance, but if I was a betting man, I would say you can go and attack that one. You know, there's 14 left. We're taking 10 through. She's an 8th at the moment. Chances of her getting through are slim to none.
But she is definitely going to be one to watch in the years to come.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like we've got one more to see before that arena drag. So, Casey Ament and Gaia is going to come through next. And I know someone was shouting for this one on, maybe it was YouTube actually. I'll try and find your name, but I know someone out there. Oh, there you are. You're Janie Fulltag from Phoenix, Arizona, who says, "Go, Casey." So I know you'll be shouting for this one. This is a naturally very quick course. It's by Cantos. They won the $20,000 Summer in the Rockies in Colorado. The 2-star Split Rock Welcome at Paso Robles. Casey has to remember just not to hurry, as then you'd end up getting in this one's way. So it's naturally fast, but she just tries to keep things quite calm with this one. Oh, just a little rub there.
Nice.
Just glided round, one little rub, but got away with it. Jumps to clear, 69.47, kind of middle of the pack with the clears. So we'll have quite a good draw. Nina Flores says, "Love fast horses who have riders able to go with them and their rhythm without looking messy." Absolutely, that's what this is all about, Nina. These types of classes are the one-round competitions. It's not about galloping and pulling and pushing. It's just keeping that nice, active rhythm. But we can see the results at the moment on screen. Connor Swale is the fastest of the clear, so he's going to be going last in the winning round at the moment, depending on what the other 13 do. Niall Nassar's in there, Cassio Rivetti, some really nice rounds. A couple of unlucky ones, just having a rail, and I'm not sure if they'll make it back. What do you think?
I think maybe if we're lucky, one, Caitlin might make it through being the fastest right now. But looking at what's to come, there are definitely 3 or 4 more that will have a good shot of putting in a clear ride. What do the people think?
Yeah, do you think they're going to get through on 4 faults? If you want to let us know, you can use that comments box below. I don't think they will. 13 left. I think we're going to see 3 or probably 4 or 5 clears out of that 13, looking at what's still to come. But anything can happen in this sport. So if I was Caitlin or maybe even Skylar, I wouldn't be untacking quite yet, but I'd sort of loosen the girth a little bit. Sheila says no. No, they're not. So it's been decided.
Sheila knows.
Well, they are getting organised. They're just running the tractor through, just freshening up the surface. And then we're going to see 13 combinations come back in that second section, or come forward in that second section of this first round. And if you are watching online, if you've got any questions, any comments, just pop them in that comments box below. But I completely agree with Sheila. I don't think we're going to be bringing back any 4 faulters in this one. But we'll wait and see. Anything could happen.
Still have Connor Swale coming up, Caitlin Campbell with one more, Natalie Dean, Daniel Coyle, who won a class with Jeffrey Jardin, coming up. Luis has got another one. Hunter Holloway, who won the opening class, as her second horse. So I think we're going to see maybe 12 clears total come back at the top end.
Your Horse Fam says, have we answered the question? I don't think I saw your question, Your Horse Fam. If you want to stick it on again, I'll try and look out for it. Nina agrees. She says, I don't think so. The performance they're putting in, I highly doubt the 4 faults will go through. I think you're right, Nina. Rennie's agreeing as well. Maya says, there are any Greek riders? Not at this show this year. Sandra Thompson says, great job, Casey. Talking about Casey Ament. He just went clear. And Nina's watching in Monterrey, Mexico. Some good shows there. Just 1 or 2 more minutes and then we'll see the next load of riders come through. And don't forget, after this first round, it's a winning round, which, in all intents and purposes, is really like a jump off. You know, they're going to be looking for those tight turns, and it's going to be the fastest one with the lowest number of faults that wins. So we'll certainly have a exciting climax here in this one. But the starting order will be decided from the results in this first round, and it will be top 10 or all clears that will come back for that winning round. Your Horse Fam says, have any of the riders got horses for sale? I would think at a show like this, there's probably, what, at least 50-60% of riders that have horses for sale. It's such a huge part of the sport and of this business.
For the right money, every horse is for sale.
Absolutely. But yeah, a lot of these riders, you know, it's unless you've got a big sponsor or a big owner that's not really interested in selling horses and just wants you to ride it, and there's very few of those around. And if you're trying to make a business out of this, you're producing horses, you're bringing them over from Europe perhaps, producing them up through the grades, and then as soon as you get a big offer, you sort of take that and move on to the next one. But these will be big money horses in this sort of competition. Vicky says she only wants to watch when we're commentating. She's watching in Denmark. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Vicky, and good to have you with us. Thanks for keeping us company. If you are watching on Facebook Live, you can hit that share button. Let all your friends know they can watch. Feel free to tag them in below if you want. But the ring crew doing a great job out there, getting us ready. Final bits of the fences going back in, and then we'll be back underway here. Another reminder as well is Longines FEI Jumping World Cup Las Vegas will be taking place this evening, but it is only available on FEI TV or on Clip My Horse. Highlights will be shown though on CBS Sports and on other networks around the world as well, so keep an eye out for your local listings. Rennie says, do the riders find the pop music in the arena a distraction? No, not if they're trained properly. You know, when you come into the ring, you are in the zone. You don't care if the crowd's cheering or there's loud music or you don't care what's going on. You just try and keep yourself focused, keep the horse focused, and keep on going. So having a look through where you can watch it, it's on CBS Sports Network in the USA, Eurosport Pan Europe, so that's in 43 countries, Claro Sport across Mexico, La Teletoya, which doesn't sound like a real channel, I'm sure it is though, that's in Venezuela, it's on Dubai TV, Australia, and then highlights on CNBC Universal. That's in Country TV New Zealand, Hippo TV in Belgium, Mono TV in Thailand, Super Sport in South Africa, and then TSN in Canada. There you go. So you've got no excuse not to watch tonight. Right, let's pick up the action again. We know top 10 are going through to that winning round. We know if they go through on faults, they lose those faults. And at the moment we've got 7 clears and 3 on 4. So that's how things look as Jamie Taylor gets us back underway with Qatar.
Jamie won this class with this horse last year. 38-year-old rider.
Her sister Katie as well has been competing and really clearing up in the Hunter rings. This isn't the easiest ride, probably one of the fastest, but Jamie manages them really well. He can just be a little bit quirky, so we'll see what sort of mood Qatar's in today. They won the 145 $50,000 Classic here last year. It might have been this class, actually.
It was.
You see that little bit of quirkiness that I mentioned there in the top corner, and how well Jamie just manages that and almost ignores it. You know, makes the adjustment, tries to keep everything relaxed, calm and together.
A horse like that, it's better to just than fight it and get into a battle. Just go with the flow. And
yeah, if you get in a battle, you'll never win. Jimmy giving this a real stellar ride all the way around.
Well, there we go.
So it goes through 70.37. Now that's the steadiest of the clears, so she's going to come back near the beginning of the starting order. But she's through. You know, she's in with a shot when she gets there. Luis Sabina Gonçalves is out though. And Skylar Wireman now sits in 10th place. So we've got 8 clears, then Caitlin Campbell and Skylar Wireman fastest of the 4s that make up that top 10. Sophia Seagull comes next, back with the second ride. We saw her a little bit earlier. This time she's got Unchained, 8-year-old by Eureka. Finished 5th this week in the 135. This is their first international competition as a pairing. She's been training nationally in the 130, 145 classes. The Opens and the Amateurs.
Well, she already has her first horse in. Takes the pressure off a little bit, I think, coming in on the second horse.
Yeah, for sure. Sophie trains with Harley Brown.
A little bit of a rub, but stayed up. Gotta keep coming a little bit.
Time allowed is 73.
She may be a little tight on that time. Second to spare.
Second inside, 72 seconds. Sophia goes through with a second horse. And she was quite steady on the other one as well, actually. So there's just one between her at the moment, her 2 rides. And that'll be interesting to see whether anyone else, you know, elects to go up the order to give her more time, or whether we'll have to wait. But we'll wait and find out. 9 clears we have, plus Caitlin Campbell, fastest of the 4s, currently sitting in 10th place. And Kathy says, are the riders only allowed to ride up to 2 horses in the class?
On the various classes, it depends. This class, the organizing committee has allowed them to ride 2. We had one class where they were allowed to ride 3, but tonight it's a 1 horse per rider for the World Cup.
Kamagodak next. Connie. Right. Kama added quite a few new horses to her string over the summer. This was one of them. This is a young one that Kaya Enning was campaigning until Kama took over the reins. She's been showing in the national divisions up in Canada.
Takes the Vegas signature jump down. And fence 5.
And it's only one rider with 4 faults that's hanging in there, so as soon as you have that second rail, it's all about just using this as a bit of an experience. But I think that's exactly what Kama's going to try to do, because these are new horses. She want to jump this indoors before this week, so she'll now use this time in the ring to hopefully give a horse a confident ride and get round, use it as an education. It's a nice horse, it's got a lot of quality about it.
She'll finish up on 12 and 1 on the clock for a 13 fault total for Kama and Connie. But they showed a lot of nice stuff.
Yeah, there was a bit to like in there, and I think she'll really build on that. It's got the ingredients, just not their day. Gives that a nice pat on the way out, which is good to see. Angel Share says, cool braiding technique on the main. Stormy Cloud says hi. Jazz says super scopy. Okay, if you have just joined us on Facebook Live or YouTube or on Clip My Horse, winning round format today, top 10 coming back. We'll remind you about the rules and how things work as we progress. If you want to get involved in the conversation and you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, you can use the comments box below. Keep hitting that share button on Facebook as well. And then this is Zoom Gallagher, who will be next. Dita joins us now.
Zoom already with her first mount qualified to make it back for round number 2, Indigo.
Zoom rides as an amateur with Nicole Honert. This has been Zoom's partner for quite a few years now, actually. Came from Neil Jones originally, this horse. But it's starting to give her a lot of firsts. She won her first Grand Prix ever with this horse in 2020. More recently won the $25,000 Grand Prix at Blenheim over the summer. She's had many wins in between.
So far, so good. Couple light rubs, just tick that fence. She comes down to the triple. Still on a clear. Time looks good as she comes to the last. Rub again, but it stays up, and Zoom with a quick round here. She'll be the second fastest of our clears. Right now, gets a great spot in the winning round.
She zoomed round. I'm sure she's heard that before. 66.84, so yeah, second fastest. You see that big smile as she heads out as well.
So that knocked Caitlin Campbell and all of the rest of the 4 falters. Caitlin was the fastest 4 falter, was in 10th, now sits in 11th. So in the money, but not back for the winning round.
So now they know the pressure's on. They've got to be clear if they want to come back.
Connor Swale, Uma O'Neill for New Zealand coming up shortly, then Caitlin Campbell. Natalie Dean, we'll see Daniel Coyle, who won a class here earlier this week. Comes off of the big win in the World Cup at Toronto last week. Hunter Holloway, who had the opening win here in the international division with her next mount.
Plenty of good ones still to see.
For the first time on the West Coast of the Nations Cup, USA 2023.
Next one just making their way down from the warm-up. And of course that news will filter backstage that they now have to be clear. There's no point having a fast 4. Might get you some prize money, won't get you back, and realistically I think we'll probably see about 12 clears now with what's left to come. Errol goes next. Connor Swale rides this one, represents Ireland. Connor already through with 1. See how he gets on with this one.
And multiple wins here last year. Multiple wins throughout the year. 3 wins coming so far on this horse, Errol. 6 times they've been in the top 3.
Many of these riders in Trade Jack's winning round are also competing in tonight's $150,000.
Connor finished up 8th individually at the World Cup Finals in Leipzig, Germany earlier this year. And after going to the World Cup Finals, he made it his mission to go right back when they come here in Omaha in 2023.
Yeah, and he's sitting at the moment 2nd in the North American League. But I think after this week that might change. Daniel Blumen's leading the standings at the moment. He's not here. So that might just switch back around. It'll add a lot of pressure on as well if Connor's got 2 horses going through. It's bad enough with 1, we know how fast he is. If you can get 2 through, it'll certainly add the pressure on.
And he's really going quick around this track.
And this horse is naturally quick as well.
He's taking a really quick, efficient route. He chooses to go around. I think setting himself up better here for this last line with this horse.
And he's done it with another 68.55. Slightly steadier with that one. 4th fastest clear. 9 left to come. 11 clears that will progress forward into that winning round. But yeah, a lot to like about that one. And London's Demuse comes next. This is an 8-year-old by London out of a Conthargos mare. Uma jumped to 135s with this horse last year. She's actually had this one since it was a 4-year-old. And just really kind of starting to step up at this level.
We were in the money here last year, but showing in the meter 35s classes in the international division.
Uma's probably best known recently for Clockwise of Greenhill Z. Managing that one's career very carefully, so it's good to see those younger horses now starting to step up. She's based over in California, not too far from Sacramento.
Ooh, hard draw.
I thought she was
just rolled
away.
it off.
At the moment, the fastest 4 faulter is still in a prize money position. But 8 faults will get you nothing in this one. Wheels just came off a little bit towards the end, but, you know, exciting horse, and great to see. You know, Uma's had that, again, since it was 4 years old. She's produced it all the way through the levels, and it's now kind of stepping up towards the top, so be good to kind of keep an eye on them, just not their day.
Just hung up in the air, hard rub, and you just see it hung there. and then just that little second bounce just took it off.
Caitlin Campbell, another one who we saw earlier, just had one down with the first horse. This is one that finished top 10 in the 114 Sacramento a few weeks ago. 8-year-old by Flexible called Sun Warrior. Caitlin Campbell rides for the USA. Maud says how many left to go. There's 8 left after this one. Diana says loving this. Well, loving the fact you can come and join us, Diana. Hope you're having a great Saturday wherever you are.
Oh. Well, first jump comes down for Caitlin with this 8-year-old.
It's a long way home after that, especially when you know there's no chance of prize money or a chance to progress forward now. So you got to use that time in the ring. Have a bit of a school round if you want.
Another rail. Just rolled off that vertical.
Comes home and looks like going to be on 8 faults. Oh, just picks up some time faults as well. So 4. 12 is going to be the total. 76 at 92. So 12 total there for Caitlin Campbell. Second ride, Sun Warrior.
Here's our next show. Here's Tinkerbell, now Lisa Rose.
Tinkerbell comes next to Lisa Bros. Lisa's been on great form recently, actually. She's oh, changing the order. Looks like Natalie Dean has decided to step up instead.
Second ride for Natalie.
Natalie's always been quite talented. She picked up various medals at youth championship level.
Part of the U.S. Team Gold effort at the Youth Games, World Youth Games, a few years back.
This is an Espresso. 9-year-old by Cicero Zed. He's had a little bit of time off since about April this year. But now back out on the circuit. Good smooth turns already. Certainly in with a shot here. Yeah, just rolls that back bar a little bit. Still rolling around in the cups there, but it stays in the cups, and Natalie Dean earns a place to come back in that winning round today with an Espresso. Second steadies to the clear, so she's going to come back towards the beginning of the order in our winning round. 12 clears we sit on. So to be eligible for prize money, you need to be clear. To get through, you need to be clear. Now we revert back to Lisa Bros and Tinkerbell. This is a combination that won the 4-star speed competition in Sacramento a couple of weeks ago. And this horse is a bit of a speed demon. It's got lots of character in the ring. Really tries her heart out. She's a 12-year-old mare by Chaco Blue. It's a horse she took to the Youth Nations Cups, won the Challenge Cup there. And she's a good young talent. She had a good finish here the other day with another different horse. And she'll be another one we'll see in the World Cup later tonight. Won't see her in the winning round though, because she drops that front rail coming in towards the triple combination. Other than that though, nice round, 68-35. 4 faults for the young talent that is Elisa Burrows, and Tinkerbell finishes on 4, heads down to 15th, so off the leaderboard she goes. Mary says, will there be a jump-off with this event? Kind of, Mary. It is a jump-off, but it's not called jump-off. It's going to be called a winning round. It's just the type of competition it is. So the starting order will be decided by this round, and its top 10 are all clears, but the stage we're at now, it is all clears that will come back. So they come back in reverse order of merit. Ponyhoff says, go Tinkerbell. Oh no, she was so close, wasn't she? Again, if you want to get involved with the conversation, use the box below. Let us know where you're watching. Any questions, any comments. You can do all that fun stuff down there. And we'll get Caroline Ann Lynn underway with Hercule van Hettenhuis.
A little slow at the beginning of the track and then really pushed up that line. Roll back and attack that triple. Penultimate jump coming down that takes them out of the winning round, and they take the last jump down also.
Final 2. Started well. So horse maybe just came a little bit strong towards the end and sort of pulled her past that distance. And finishes on the 8 faults, 69.92 and 8 there. Caroline Ann Lynn and Hercule van Hettenhuis finishes on the 8. Elizabeth talking about that horse we've just seen, saying the hours the groom must have put in washing the horse, so white. Yeah, these greys are very difficult to keep clean. But it takes a real village back there. So always a big shout out to the grooms. Laurie Jones has just joined us as well, watching in Idaho. Good to have you with us on board. And Daniel Coyle on track now. Jeffrey Jordan. He's had this horse about 6 weeks. It's an 8-year-old by Bastique, out of a Warrant mare. Had a top 10 finish in Toronto last week as well, but the horse was just a little bit overwhelmed in Toronto, Daniel said.
Well, I mean, the crowd there all the time. There's so much activity around that ring. It's tough to warm up, a small warm-up area. Number 5, front rail came down. But he came back after that and wins here. So
yeah, and for a young horse to go to somewhere like Toronto with that crowd, with everything that sort of goes with it, it's great experience for the horse. It gets him ready for things like championships where you do have these big crowds all the time.
Daniel coming home on 8 and 66.86 the time. So he'll have to just turn his concentration now over to tonight.
Yeah, he'll have a nice horse coming forward into that World Cup this evening. Not many left, about 4 here in the first round. Exciting winning round still to come as well. And Hunter Holloway gets herself organised with Dana de Carglen, 9-year-old by My Lord Cathargo out of a Diamond de Semele mare. Won the opening 2-face competition here earlier in the week. This is a horse she's had for about a year now. Did some good 1m50 competitions over the summer, but been a little while since they've been indoors. The horse adjusted quite quickly though the other day. But this horse has got plenty of stride. It's really quick across the ground as well.
Although she's only 24, she has got a lot of mileage in the Grand Prix ring.
Yeah, you almost forget how old she is. Not because she looks older, but just because, as you said, the amount of stuff she's done and achieved.
We've been watching her as a teenager here doing.
I'm sure we're going to see her in Omaha for World Cup finals. She'll be riding a horse called Pepita tonight. Oh, has to really work down that line. You could see her taking a check to set up. That double comes at you quite quickly on the 5 strides down there.
Rolls back tight, coming to the triple. Kind of skips there through the 2-stride part. She's really trying to get a good spot in the order. Oh!
Final fence. Takes that back bar off the oxer. She looks round. And it's going to be 4 there, 66.54. 4 for Hunter Holloway, representing the USA with Dana de Carglen. That was a shame because it was a cracking time as well. She would be coming back towards the end in the winning round.
Just watch as she comes in, just skims it behind with, rolls that off. I mean, those cups are only 20 millimeters deep. They don't take much, doesn't take much to roll a rail off there if you hit it just right.
Sheila Weiss says Hunter has a lovely horse. She's got some great horses at the moment. That's one included. Luis Sabino Gonçalves is back. Bimol Deschamps. We saw him earlier. Sadly, he's been pushed out with that first one, but now back. This was jumping in Europe until the end of the summer.
Newer ride for him.
He took over the ride and then was quickly 4th in the 140 Open Classic last week at Desert Horse Park in the national divisions. This is an 11-year-old self-run gelding by Chef Rouge. And he's a proper rider. We've seen him at European Championships and all the rest of it. And I think he's going to have a good business out there on the West Coast. It's already building. So far, so good.
He took that tight roll back coming in, and I'm just
didn't straighten up in time.
Just kind of attacked it and just wasn't able to close. Distance closed up a little bit. Couldn't get that front leg up. Just touched it.
Well, 67.40 and 4. That translates to end of the roads today for Luis Sabino Gonçalves. So unlucky though, because he's put in a couple of great rounds today. Oh, don't fall off now. He's put in a couple of great rounds today. You know, he's shaking his head a little bit frustrated. Just one tiny mistake.
Well, you know, we are in Vegas. It's either luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how much skill you have here. Luck in Vegas plays a very important part.
It's red or black.
Yeah.
Right, couple left to go. Then we're off to the races for that winning round. One of the youngest athletes in the competition is the 18-year-old Jake Endicott next. 13-year-old Hanoverian stallion by Chaco Blue, RMF Chaco Top. This is Jake's breakout week to international competition. We've seen him in plenty of national stuff in the past. You had a couple of top 10 finishes at your Short Capital Challenge.
Chaco Top started out by William Whitaker, and then Cormac Hanley took over the ride. Sean Cassidy was showing it earlier this year. Did very well in National Grand Prix and a couple international classes, and now Jake Endicott gets the ride.
Yeah, Sean won the 2-star welcome at Split Rock with this one back in July. But this horse has had a good grounding, good education. And I think it's going to be an exciting one for Jake.
Going to get him some great mileage. Jake, both his parents rode internationally. His brother, Mitch, also very successful rider, trainer. It's a whole family business.
Yeah. That's nice that you can get input from other members of the family. Oh, a little tap there sets up for this final fence.
All right.
Nice job from the 18-year-old. First week of international competition. And he earns a place in the winning round today. RMF Chaco Top and Jake Endicott there for the USA. One left to come. Elizabeth Maelstrom says, are there any age restrictions in these competitions? World Cup have to be 18. Are there any others?
For the Grand Prix, at a 3-star or higher, the rider has to be in the year they turn 18. But any other class,
within reason,
yeah,
you're good to go.
Except for the power and skill classes like a Puissance or a 6-bar.
Laura Height now, 10-year-old stallion. Triton Hashtag. This is last to go here in the first round, so she knows she has to be clear to get through, because we sit on 13 clears at the moment.
She's gotten some good international mileage with this one. Placings in Dinard and Fontainebleau in France and La Coruña in Spain. Oh! Kind of got there and pushed forward, but just kind of let go of his head and didn't 100% commit to that distance they saw.
It's a relatively new ride for Laura. This one was jumping in Europe until the beginning of June. In fact, Alex Zetterman of Sweden was second in a 4-star Grand Prix with a horse in Oplabeek. And Laura took over the reins. Getting on quite well though, finished top 6 in Del Mar. Don't know how much she'll have jumped this indoors. You know, this is a kind of real indoor arena.
Everything comes up so much quicker. There's zero chance really to, you know, you might have one spot on the course where you can regroup.
I think that's what we've seen playing out. You know, when this horse does get a little bit strong or a little bit long, there's not much room for Laura just to sort of gather the knitting back up.
This one, it shows me a lot of stuff that you like once they get to know each other and pair it. I mean, there's a lot of scope, a lot of great jump.
It's got all the ingredients.
Yeah.
I would be excited if I was her.
Yeah.
You can see she's gotten a little bit deep there. So we're about to bring the tractors in, we're about to do some work in the arena, and we're about to shorten this course. Now, although this, technically speaking, isn't a jump-off, it's going to be a winning round, but it's going to look like a jump-off. The only other difference is that the starting order is decided by the results. So it will be worstest, firstest, bestest, lastest. That's how it works.
Worstest, firstest, bestest, lastest?
Yeah, you can use that. You can have that.
Okay. You're not going to copyright that, huh?
I'm sure it was proper English.
Somewhere
it's
proper English.
But yep, 13 heading through. So steadiest of the clears will go first. That's Sophia Siegel. She was at 72 seconds. Then we're going to work all the way down our list to Connor Swale, who jumped clear in 65.90. But some real quick ones throughout, actually, all in with a shot here. They're going to be looking for those turns, looking for areas where they can make up some time as well. Your horse fam says, good job, Connor.
Well, there you see all of the standings from top to bottom that have run. Should be really exciting coming back here.
Yeah, I think so.
And he's really, when we say he, Anderson Lima, our course designer, has given them a track here where they really, I mean, the gallop to the last jump is a dead out gallop. I mean, full tilt. Vegas, if it's like lay it all out in the line if you want to win it.
And they're going to have to today, I think. And those ones coming back early have got to think about, you know, the likes of Connor Swale towards the end. They won't be thinking too much about, you know, some of the slower ones at the beginning. They want to add as much pressure on.
Well, the whole track, he's given them options here that we'll see coming up in just a moment. But I mean, he's really testing out the rideability, because there are some real options on turns early on. There's really, you can see how fast, if you can then punch it up and really throw it into high gear coming to at the end of the course. But it's well balanced. You know, there's some options. There's leave out coming up the first line, or maybe try and get a deep one so you can really curl back. Right there, you see their second jump is going to be that red and white that they just moved the hurdle out of. And there's an option, I think, here to jump inside and come inside the slot machines coming back to fence number 1. So they're going to start at number 3, which is up the top end of the ring, the Las Vegas signature jump, right up to this red and white oxer. Then it's a right rollback turn right around that Longines clock, or that's going to be a tough one, but or you're going to go around. If you catch a flyer to the second jump and the jump off, that turn's going to be really hard to make. But this is where you're going to see Connor Swale and that body control that he has. It is where that's going to come into play, because his position and control, he does not lose a stride on the landing side. He is dead with the horse step by step the entire way around.
Well, I think Trina DeLisser agrees with you, says, go Connor, you can do it, first and second. There you go.
This should be there's a lot that he has put in here, and I think it's going to be a nice little riding clinic.
Yeah, I think so. There's a lot to make the riders think as well. It's not just a case of galloping around, you know, you've mentioned all those turns, so they've got to be thinking as well in here. But there's plenty of options. And I think if I was coming towards the end, I'd be coming down and just watching those first few go, just getting an idea. Kelly Edwards has been very busy. She's keeping us up to date with how things are happening in Prague as well, with McLean and Double H Azure. She said he's just gone clear in the second round and there's 5 to go.
How many, Kelly, how many, are there any double clears yet there?
Well, I'm sure Kelly will tell us. She's watching on Facebook Live right now. If you're watching on Facebook Live and you haven't yet done it, stick where you're watching from in the box below. Any questions, comments, good luck messages for the riders, you can pop them in there. We'll keep an eye on the conversation. Over on YouTube as well, keeping an eye on that one. Lots of random chats on the YouTube about old horses and riders of yesteryear. But also Mark saying go Cassio go, talking about Cassio Rivietti. They'll be coming kind of towards the end, 5 or 6 from the end. Ball Coach Pro says, how can I boost my confidence jumping over 1.40 m? Well, once you be jumping up to that level, I think you really need to be working with somebody. And I think things like, your grid work as well is really good for getting confidence, rather than sort of jumping courses if you're feeling like you're getting left behind or not quite getting there at the right time. Rather than just jumping courses, I would go and work with a coach, find someone who you like, and try and do some grid work. That can really help you, with your balance and control. Finton Hunt says going for an Irish win. Well, the only rider you can be shouting for then is Connor Swale. He's the only of the Irish riders that have made that winning round. Kelly Edwards updating us again about that other competition, the one that's going on in Prague, saying there's 5 double clears. He's lying second at the moment. Katrin Eckerman just went double clear. And then she says, sorry, 5 clears, now 1 double clear.
Ah, okay.
There you go. Wendy says, where are the Las Vegas crowds? Well, Wendy, there's so much going on.
There will be a nice crowd here tonight.
There will be. They always get a really good atmosphere and crowd for the World Cup. But during the day here in Vegas, and I know this is something that we talk about quite a lot at this event, but it is unique because, the hotel is attached. So we walk down from our rooms along the corridor, up a flight of stairs, and we're at the equestrian centre. But there's also like 12 restaurants, there's cinemas, 2 bowling alleys. There's
2 other show rings that are going on right now.
Yeah, so there's a lot.
Full of competition that's taking place. So,
and the casino's packed. When you go down in the morning, there's more people gambling than having breakfast. So there's a lot
maybe
to
not
do.
this morning.
Maybe not this morning, actually, because the lines for breakfast.
There's a $2 million bingo tournament going on right now, too, here at the hotel.
Thomas Foley says, greetings from Ireland. Go, Connor. Ashley's watching in California. Good to have you with us, Ashley, as well. So if you're watching on Facebook Live, if you want to get involved, just let us know you're watching from. Any questions, comments, you can let us know. Of course, we'll keep an eye on the FEI YouTube channel too. And if you're not watching this live, then obviously we can't get back to you. Just pointing that out, because quite often, people will add comments and we think we ignore them, but if it's after the competition was live, then we're not there all the time. See, this is what time is it in Vegas? It is 1:30 in the afternoon. Hira says that sounds like a crazy huge place. Well, that's Vegas. Everything's huge here. And we're about 15 minutes from the strip, the main Vegas strip. But on screen now you can see the starting order, and of course they are coming back. Reverse order of merit based on the first round scores. So the steadiest of the clears coming first, fastest of the clears coming at the end. So that means Sophia Segal will be getting us underway. And then you can see all the way through there's some really quick ones. I think we're going to have a few changes in leader as things progress through this one. Angel has just joined us, Angel Share. We've got Michaela watching in North Carolina. Candy Jacobs says good luck to all. Miriam's in Austin, Texas. Tony Teenan is watching in Australia. Laura says, excellent class. And Marie is rooting for Connor Swale. And Diana's watching in Cape Town, South Africa. Oh, and Wendy in California. Good to have you with us, Wendy. Right, let's get the action underway then, shall we? Sophia Siegel, Unchained, gets us underway. And she'll want to add on as much pressure as she can. You've had a look at this course, Oliver. You're going to talk us around the...
They get their first shot. They come here. They're going to start over what was fence number 3 and gallop up to 4. And now they can either try and leave one out or maybe get up there quick, get to that nice deep spot so maybe they can get the inside turn. She roll back here, missed that inside turn is going to be tough, but I think if somebody gets it, they're going to be winning if they leave them up. To number 1 now, we go up to the red dice at number 2. Come back on fence 14, which is 6A, jump now in the reverse direction. Roll back to B and C from the triple, vertical, 1 stride. Now it's a right-hand turn back to fence number 10. And then here it is, the gallop. If you want to win, you're going to have to really run down. She took a nice, easy track around, going for the careful clear in 46.49.
Well, there we go. We've got the score on the board, 46.49 to beat. And I think, they'll all come back with their own plans as well. I mean, Sophia's been competing nationally in the 130, 145 classes. And that one's just an 8-year-old horse as well. So I think she'll have worked with her trainer, Harley Brown, to come up with a bit of a plan. And I think we saw that plan executed. She wasn't going to gallop. She wasn't going for the tightest turns, but she just kept flowing.
They have to do what's best for them and their horse.
Yeah, they're all individuals.
They're all at different stages.
I think we'll see that, as this class progresses. Everyone's coming in with their own plan. It's made for their horse, for their calendar of what's coming up as well. Let's see what Natalie Dean's going to decide to do with Nepresso.
She's got a little more pace already, but coming out of that turn takes the first jump down. They have to decide, is it better to go leave it out, go up that line, take the big jump coming out of over the red oxer and go around and really just keep motoring it down? Or do I want to try and slice inside? Really tight back there as she came back to the double.
It's a shame to have that rail because she's got some crack.
Got there a little long. Doesn't make it across the back of the oxer.
Yeah,
Natalie on 8.
A shame, 41.83. But yeah, it went for a complete flyer to that oxer, and there's just no way of making the back bar. It's like she'll be a little bit frustrated, kind of kicking herself about that.
Now here's Jake Endicott.
And he should be very, no matter what happens today, I think he should be happy. It's his first week of FEI.
Jake Endicott returns now with Arnhem and Choco Top.
Just 18 years of age. Had some good top 10 finishes at Capital Challenge.
Now our third, 13. Jake Endicott, Arnhem and Choco Top.
Steps it up the first line. There's the first one who goes for that inside turn.
That's all about the control, being able to keep moving forward and turn at the same time.
Yeah, and you really can't take the flyer to that because it puts you landing too far out. He set up nicely, pretty much textbook for there. Up. Come on, Jake.
This horse is careful.
Slices back. Up.
Now he really has to fly. Pushes on down. Ah, nice one.
Great ride. 40.20.
So Jake Endicott sets a new standard. Over 6 seconds faster than Sophia Siegel. So he now leads. The pressure's on. 40.20 to beat. He knows he's got fast ones coming behind him. I'm not sure if that's good enough to win today, but I think that's a definite personal best for him.
He's going to be right up there. Right up there in the heat. Now Connor Swale's moving up. I just saw Connor ride up, go inside, go right up to the first jump. You'll see a lot of the great riders. You know, they want to make sure the horse has it when they make that turn, has an idea. Oh, I'm going to this fence.
Yep.
You know,
knows which one
he gets
to
to ride it, and you just see him. He's right there. He's riding the second inside turn.
And he'll definitely go for those inside ones. No, he wouldn't even see the outside one when he was looking at the course.
Yeah. No, Connor looks right for what is the fastest, shortest way I can go around. If you take fewer steps, you have a better shot of being the fastest one.
And these tight turns all come from the flat work.
Yeah, body control, a little quicker there than Jake was. His body control just allows him to, there's no loss on a step. He doesn't lose a beat on the landing side.
Yeah, Jake really had to kind of set up for each fence, where Connor just keeps moving forward. And he's still setting up, you just can't tell. And this is slick through here. Get up. Now it has to go. It's 40.20 to beat. If he jumps this, he's done it. That's a new leader.
40.07 now. That shows Jake was pretty quick.
Yeah, he was.
Number 5 in the world goes in 40.07, and he went in 40.02.
You know, to be fair, if this was a 2-star or a 3-star here on the West Coast, Jake Schrein would have been good enough to win.
Yeah.
Just so happens today on the West Coast you're at a World Cup event in Vegas.
And you got the number 5 in the world coming in right after you.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, Jake should be really happy with himself. It was never going to be fast enough to you know, beat someone like Connor. But first week in international competition for Jake Endicott, and he set a really good challenge and added a bit of pressure on for the number 5 in the world. So that's a good day at the office for him.
Yeah. So 40.07 leads, 40.2 is in second. And here's Zoom Gallagher.
This is Indigo of Van de Mogenhoek. And again, you know, they are coming back in reverse order, unless one or two has decided to move about to give themselves more room if they've got 2 rides.
Like Connor had to.
Yeah, but generally speaking, coming back in reverse order, so they should keep getting faster. But, you know, as we saw with Jake, I think he is really going to, you know, be staying within that top 6, maybe top 3. This is a horse that Zoom got this year, but the horse comes with some good experience. And again, just keeping that rhythm, keeping it moving forward.
That was tight. Oh, wow, she paid for it there.
Yeah, and then that energy just carried forward. Big
42.07 on 12. The double comes down as well as the last fence.
But, you know, it was worth taking a risk today. And still quite a new one. So in terms of indoor competition, she wouldn't have jumped it much indoors. She wouldn't have been in many jump-offs with that horse. So that would be a good fact-finding mission for her. But no change to that leaderboard. Connor Swale leads for Ireland. Jake Endicott second. Sophia Siegel in 3rd place. So 40.07, still that time to beat. Jamie Taylor next with Qatar. It's a 12-year-old stallion by Kidam Di Revel. This is the one we saw in the first round. A little bit quirky, but it's quick across the ground. So if she can just control that quirkiness, which she normally does manage to do, then again, in with a shot. Already placed here this week. Her sister Katie also clearing up in the Hunter Rings. But we've seen her do well in the $100,000 Grand Prix at Thermal with this horse. So you can't rule them out today. Oh, you can now, though.
She it didn't really get to finish the jump before she started that turn.
I mean, it's really careful and just that mistake early on. I think she's going to be kicking herself. Other than that, though, real nice job. Very smooth.
41.29 on 4.
So time-wise, it would be good enough for third. Rail moves them down 1 place, but I think, you know, they would have been good enough for a higher position as we move on, if that makes sense. So I think she would have been there or thereabouts in the top 3, 4, 5, something like that. But with that rail, we are going to see her just gradually be pushed further and further down the leaderboard. Has Connor Swail done enough? We'll wait and find out. Sophia Segal is back. Second right. This one's called Barracuda. Well, she rattled that, but it stayed.
This horse, she tries the inside turn. Well, she kicks on the afterburners a little.
This is more technical, but she manages to slice in here.
Nice.
Plenty
All
of
right,
people.
come on, push it up the last line.
40.07 to beat. Not going to be quite that quick, but not too far away.
43.07. And that's good enough for third right now. So she sits in third and fourth. Connor Swail still leads in 40.07. Jake Endicott in 40.2. Right now sits in second. Smile from her as she comes out, Sophia.
Well, Ashley says, way to go, Jake. Sheila says, great job, Jake. They're talking about Jake Endicott, the 18-year-old in his first week of international competition, who sits second at the moment. Just saw Sophia go into third and Connor Swail leading at the moment. Michelle Fury also saying Jake should be so proud. Celia saying go Sophia. Angel Share says, is that Connor's horse with the bitless bridle?
You can see Jake just up on the kiss and cry with the hat in his hand. He's sitting there watching the rest of them go. His father's on the phone here. Must be fielding phone calls from people who are watching.
Phoning everyone, I would think.
Yeah.
Be one proud dad. Yeah, Angel was asking, is that Connor's horse with the bitless bridle? Now, the one you're talking about will be going in the World Cup tonight. And interestingly, that horse that Connor rides in the Hackamore, the one that will be in the World Cup, he only rides it in the ring in the Hackamore. He actually starts warming up in the warm-up in a bit, and then when he's got about 5 minutes to go, he swaps into the Hackamore to ride it in the ring, and doesn't ride it in a Hackamore at home. So only really rides it in the Hackamore in the ring. And that was the horse that used to be barefoot, but it's now got shoes on. Fun facts, but yeah, that's the horse that Connor will have in here tonight. Well, no change to that leaderboard. Connor Swail leads. Jake Endicott sitting in second, and Sophia Segal sitting in third place. 40.07 time to beat. Casey Ament in the ring now with Gaia. This is a real nice horse. She's done a lot with this one since she took over the reins. Won a 2-star class at Split Rock, the $140,000-$25,000 at West Palms last month. $20,000 class at Rockies in Colorado.
Nice, nice.
This is naturally a very quick horse. Casey does well just to stay out of her way. She never tries to ask this horse to go fast because it is just naturally fast.
And she lost a 0 forward momentum on that turn, hit it dead on in stride. Curl up. 41-47 on 4. You can really see how fast Jake and Connor both were.
Yep. So pops her down to 6th place at the moment. Top one's unchanged. 5 left to come. Have we seen our winner? Mary Lockhart's watching in Ireland on Facebook Live, cheering on for Connor. Sheila is cheering for Barracuda and Sophia. Sophia's had a great run. This is Cassio Rivetti coming next. Chattanooga. Cassio brings real international experience with him, but it catches that rail.
Tried to get the horse going and kept it going forward, but got a little bit strung out. Wasn't totally underneath him.
He jumped clear earlier in the week in the 135, but just a little bit off the boil today. And the last is going to finish on the 12.
42-5 on 12.
It's Cassio Rivetti there with Chattanooga. Connor Swill's still got a horse to come. He's really clearing up here this week.
Shout out to our friends out in Texas watching us here.
So 40.07. Still that challenge, still a time to be beaten. And it's going to be Niall Nassar next with Jiminy Cricket. This is the one that Kerry Potter previously competed with, pushed up through the grades. Kerry had the horse for about 6 years, since he was a 3-year-old. But Niall's taken over this ride a couple of years back and is doing a great job. 4th earlier in the week here. 3rd in the speed class with this one. It's got a little stumble there in the turn. Got quite a natural high head carriage. Some might find a little bit off-putting, but Niall just stays out the horse's way.
He rides the little quirky ones so well, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
he always has.
Lucifer was probably one of the hardest horses in the world to ride, and he had so much success on that horse. Oh, that was slick.
I remember that horse. It almost killed me in Toronto.
That
was before Niall had the ride. Oh, and the last comes down.
41-15. I mean, you can really see how fast Connor and Jake were.
Yeah. But Niall does such a nice job with that one. Just a bit of a bad day at the office.
Well, he came off of a big win yesterday. Or I'd say not yesterday, last week when we were in Toronto.
Yeah. Yeah, with the other horse, the one that's the dam side's all completely ponies, which is fairly unique. It gives us some great turn.
I think, is he doing El Conde tonight?
El Conde, I think he might be. I've not looked at the list quite yet. But it's nice that he's got that kind of breadth and depth on his string now. You can start to pick and choose and manage the horses' careers. It's a nice position to be in, I think. We might just have a little bit of a pause. Remember, a couple of these riders have got 2 horses in this competition. I'm sure this says
who out there online. We want to hear who out there online thinks that Connor has won it on that horse. Do you think he can be faster on his next?
Is it over? You can let us know in the comments box on Facebook and on YouTube. Anne's watching in Williston, Florida. Sheila says, loving the names of the horses, such a variety. Hopefully we're managing to pronounce them all so far.
Here's Zoom again.
Yep, Zoom Gallagher and Adita. Zoom rides as an amateur with Nicole Honor. But they've been together for years now. Horse that came from Neil Jones. Zoom won her first Grand Prix with this one back in 2020, and more recently won the $25,000 Grand Prix at Blenheim over the summertime. Had many wins in between though. But that pressure's on today. And if you've already made your plan, and I don't think you would change it too much, because to get that time or try and catch Connor, you need a sort of special horse. And you need to be used to riding at that speed. She just catches that behind, I think.
Just touched it and rolled it off. All right, here come that last line. She's hauling now.
Look at the time.
39:22. Well, we now know that the time can be beat.
Yep.
But still got to leave them all up.
And she really flew down to that final fence. Yeah. She's got guts. Nice big pat for Adita on the way out, and a big smile. Just heard the ring announcer said, if you left it up, you would have beaten Connor. And I think that's a bit of a good feeling. Obviously still a bit disappointed for having the rail, but to know that you're faster than Connor Swale.
Oh, when you sit there, the number 5 ranked rider in the world, if you can beat his time, let alone leave them all up and beat his time.
Right, Hunter Holloway, definitely a contender. She brings Easter and Jam forward. Another one who's been developing the string. She's had many Grand Prix wins with this one in Colorado and Lamplight over the past few seasons. Last year's winner of the World Cup here in Vegas. But what's she going to do here?
Nice turn, slick. Maybe lost a hair, patting the ground to curl up over that, but Connor was not letter perfect. I mean, he was the first one to really slice it and go for it after Jake.
This is going to come down to this final line.
Yeah.
40.07. She is going to have to fly here. Come on. Jumps the last.
41.27. 41.27 on clear. That goes into third.
That's a great shot.
The only man who can beat Connor Swale is Connor Swale.
So will he be 1 or will he be 1-2? Comes back with Theo. And this is a quick one as well. And Connor won't be thinking too much about, can I be 1-2? He'll be thinking, can I just go, as quick as I want to on this one? He'll already have his plan. He just started in the accumulator with this at Washington. Had a good win at Traverse City. This horse used to be a little bit difficult to turn left, but Connor's worked really hard, and that seems to have been worked out now.
Well, I think the hardest turn he's going to have to make is to the right, thank God for him.
Yeah.
For a little horse, this one really has a big step. Oh, that he is. Come on, come on. And you just saw his body control kept that rail up. Inside. So slick through there.
Well, it's his own time to beat, 40.07. He's
on it. He's on it.
On that flyer.
Little
to the
balance, balance, go.
And he
39.87.
catches his own time, 39.87.
That was textbook ride.
Wow, what an afternoon it's been for Ireland's Conor Swale. Takes the victory there with Theo. Finishes second with
Look
the
at that
other
little
horse.
smile. Let's take a look here. Come take a look at that. Hopefully we get a replay of that rollback from the second jump to the third jump.
Nice big pat there for Theo on the way out as well. Still smiling.
We're going to adjust our fences here as we get set for the award.
But what a string he's got at the moment. But congratulations there to Conor.
Well, it was a master class in a speed ride.
And the good news is he won't be able to start celebrating yet because he's still got the World Cup to think about tonight. Imagine if he can win that as well. I'm not sure if Vegas is ready for that.
If he wins tonight, there's going to be one hell of a party.
There will be. Mary says, I knew Conor would do it. He's from County Down in Northern Ireland, so she. Yes, 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 Conor, says Trina. Wonderful job, Conor. And Theo says Sheila. You can see our result on screen as well. And I think we've got to give a mention to Jake Endicott as well. 18 years of age, first week in international competition. Comes in, and on any other day, if Conor Swale wasn't here, then the 18-year-old would have taken the victory. And he's still, managed to beat some real seasoned veterans. People like Niall Nassar that's been to the Olympics.
Jake Endicott put in, he should be really proud of his ride.
Yeah.
I mean, only 4 riders broke that 41-second mark, and only 3 of them did it and left the fences up.
Gav Unscripted 2021 says, could we wish his friend Gabriel happy birthday? It would be great. Well, happy birthday, Gabriel. I don't know where you are.
I guess you just did. He actually did it. You just read it.
Yeah.
It's like a birthday card.
Absolutely. Angel Share says, Jake's so impressive. Lots of people saying, well done, Conor. Silas says, Jake really pulled off an incredible performance. You're not to take away anything from Conor, but he wins so much. He's number 5 in the world. And it's a bit of a masterclass to watch him.
Just watch this turn. I mean, never lost a beat.
And he gets out
kept his balance, kept that rail up.
Not many riders can ride like that.
Yeah, I mean, and even when he sits there and leans back, he knows exactly where he is over every fence and what he needs to do body position-wise to make sure that horse leaves it up. And then he gathers his reins back up so quick, never misses a beat, and goes right on. And then just pushes on the gas for that last ride. I mean, every year, every time he rides a jump off, I mean, if you're a kid, you want to know, how do I do it?
Yeah.
How do I control my body? He's the man to watch.
Absolutely.
And I don't think you can teach that. It's just natural.
It's natural feel. And the fact, Conor's got some really nice horses at the moment. He's got the best string he's probably ever had. But when he was growing up, when he was in his early days, he has ridden some of the most difficult horses, some of the horses you might not even want to ride, and he's had to get good results from them. And I think that's where that kind of comes from. It comes from, jumping muddy ponies over a ditch and having that natural balance. As a youngster, you can see, rather than getting in trouble, he can let his reins slide, and then before you've even noticed, it's almost like a magic trick. You don't see how he's managed to gather things back up again. Michelle Fury says, awesome class.
At this time, we're pleased to direct your attention to
Carly says they do read the comments. Of course we do, Carly. Maya says, wow, you're on the video, Gabriel. So are you now, Maya. But great to have everyone joining us as well on Facebook and on YouTube. Final reminder, we've got the World Cup tonight, Longines FEI Jumping World Cup Las Vegas. It's not on YouTube, it's not on Facebook, but you can join us on Clip My Horse and on FEI TV. Also networks around the world, we mentioned those a little bit earlier, but look out for the highlights here in North America on CBS. They'll be on this week. If you want to watch it live, Clip My Horse FEI TV is where you will have to go. But we hope you've enjoyed the class as much as we have. I've been Adam Cromarty alongside Oliver Kennedy. If you want to stay for the prize giving ceremony, it will be live with our ring announcer Max von Zimmerman. But from us, enjoy the rest of your day and we'll see you again soon.
Style is not only used to describe an outward appearance. It is not just a shell that you put on every day. True style comes from the inside out. The way you conduct yourself, the way you treat people and animals, and your beliefs and dreams are all examples of what makes up your personal style. And Jen has just that. She has composed herself with style first and foremost, being incredibly kind, giving, and patient, and a fierce competitor. From ponies to the big act, to riding on the all-red equestrian team, to 100 derbies and Grand Prix wins, Jen has fully immersed herself, not just as a show jumper, but as one of the very few all-around horsemen who oversees every detail of her animals. The art of teamwork is a fleeting reality, and in putting her horses first, Jen has the highly coveted ability to connect with her mounts. When Jen enters the ring, her horses want to win for her. They want to do good by her because she does good by them. But make no mistake, though Jen is soft-spoken and polite, she's a fierce competitor, ready to take on any challenge in the ring. Her grace and style, both in and out of the ring as a horseman, competitor, trainer, and friend, is exactly the kind of attributes that the Style Award was meant to commend and honor. Congratulations to Jen Waxman, a woman and competitor that we all respect and hold in a high regard. You've earned this.
Ladies and gentlemen, joining our show manager Alexander Zulia and our 2021 recipient presenting on behalf of Michael Meller, Miss Natalie Dean. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for your winner of the Michael M. Meller Style of Riding Award, Jennifer Waxman. The M. Michael Meller Style of Riding Award winner for 2022 with Natalie Dean, last year's recipient, presenting on behalf of M. Michael Meller. Jennifer, congratulations on your special award this week. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, of course, our awards, Blenheim Equisports Prize gives in Coulorette, the Ethel M Chocolates, Premium Chocolate Gift Basket, Ogilvy Saddle Pad, Top Line Design, Ribbon Wreath, custom picture frame and gift certificate. Of course, medals going out to our top 3 as we'd like to welcome back those 5th through 2nd place award winners here today in our Jacks or Better winning round presented by Blenheim Equisports. A fantastic class here, and coming out on top 2 placings to the same rider. Matter of fact, 5th and 6th went out to the same rider as well as she leads the parade back into the ring. As we congratulate all of our top finishers. In the winning round competition, 13 navigated fault-free in the first round, and these 5 were the best of the best in our Jacks or Better winning round presented by Blenheim Equisport, coming in to be recognized for their accomplishments. Your 5th place award winner, actually she was 6th and 5th, Sophia Siegel, aboard Unchained and Barracuda respectively, taking 6th and 5th. Your 4th place award winner goes to Hunter Holloway and Eastern Jam. A 3rd place finish for RMF Choco Top and Jake Endicott. And ladies and gentlemen, let's bring in our champion, not only 1st but 2nd aboard Errol as well, from Ireland, Connor Swale. Taking the win for Connor Swale and Team Phillip Arts aboard the 10-year-old Holsteiner, Theo. It's been a pleasure to watch this man ride for the last 5 or 6 years here in North America, going back even further than that. We remember a wonderful horse he had called Flower back in the day. He's got a great string of horses, including this one. Today's champion, Theo, and Connor Swale from Ireland. Ladies and gentlemen, to honor today's champion, let's all please rise, and gentlemen, remove your caps as we'll play the national anthem from Ireland. Congratulations once again to your champion, Connor Swale on Theo, and 2nd aboard the Sagamore Farms entry, Errol. Once again, the Coolerette, the FLM Chocolates, Premium Chocolate Gift Basket, Ogilvy Saddle Pad, Top Line Design Ribbon Wreath, the Custom Picture Frame and Gift Certificate, all going out to our champion today. Of course, rider medals going to the top 3. So Jake Endicott picks up his medal, but Connor's going to take 2 of them this afternoon here, finishing 1st and 2nd. What a fantastic class. We had a great prelude to what will be a wonderful evening of show jumping tonight in the $150,000 Longines FEI World Cup jumping. You'll see him on Vital Chance de la Roque later on tonight. But we've got one more request. Mr. Connor Swale, if you would, let's lead the way in the victory ride aboard Theo, your champion, in the Jacks or Better winning round presented by Blenheim Equisports. We're going to take a little break here as we'll turn your attention to the concourse. Now's a great time to visit some of the great vendors that are joining us here as well throughout the Las Vegas National Horse Show with many items. Swing by the Las Vegas National Souvenir Gift Shop right on the top corner. As we're setting for the WCE Junior Amateur Medal, we'll have that official walk by our officials coming up before, and then we'll have that walk for our riders.